the body. You are not the limbs. You're not the thoughts. You're not the feelings. You're not the circumstances. You're not the people, the events. You're not anything that you can perceive of. Why? Because all of those things are literally always changing. They're always becoming something, or coming from something, or becoming something else. They're always changing into this, into that. Sometimes you get so frustrated, sometimes you get so angry, sometimes you get so happy, you get blissful, you get thrilled. You have this up and down relationship with the reality and how you feel about it and what you're thinking about. Honestly, sometimes your shirt doesn't even fit properly. Okay, sometimes you can't sit in your chair straight. Sometimes you're just dropping things all over, and when these things happen, you immediately say, how can I be God when my shirt doesn't fit me, when my chair doesn't feel comfortable, when I'm dropping things from the kitchen to my room to the outside, wherever, where there's just noise everywhere, when I just want to do a simple thing? How can I be God when I'm doing these mundane things that I can't even seem to be doing properly? When I'm so angry, I can't even concentrate sometimes. When I'm so sad, when I'm so upset, when I'm so blissfully doing something at the back end, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking that I want to be doing something else. How can I be God? It is because only as God can you experience so much and still stand in a knowing, in the knowing, in your knowing, that no matter what you are doing, you are the very heart of the doing of it. Right? You are the very being of whatever's happening. You're not your thoughts. You're not the ever drifting feelings and beingness and circumstances and events. You're not these things. You can't be these things. You can't even be the person who is in the desired experience, because you're observing the desired experience within your own imagination. You're looking at it, but what are you looking at? You're looking at whatever it is you are, taking the form of whatever it is you desire to be experiencing. We consider these things so otherworldly, so outside of us, but it's just one with you. It's part of the memory of who you are. You are infinity. Nothing's held back from you, no matter how many times or how convincing your mind might make it believe that which you desire to be doing, having, and experiencing is kept away from you. No matter how many thoughts or how many times your own assumptions get tangled up within you, none of that stuff actually matters. The only thing that matters is that you are awareness. You are awareness, and you always go back to that beingness, that beingness of who you really are. Awareness itself. Everything you see is how we refer to it outside of you, but it's all happening within your awareness. See, when you close your eyes and you can imagine the room that you're in. See the trees, the birds, the bees, your bed, your bedroom, whatever it is, right? It doesn't really matter. It's all just within your awareness. And then we have this, everyone is you pushed out. We have this idea that everyone is a reflection of who and what I say it is. And then you wonder, is it really unfolding in the way that I desire it to be unfolding? What about the larger part of reality? What if I want to experience myself as the larger part of reality, where I see the clocks, the clockwork mechanism of reality itself moving for me? How do I see that? How do I know that? How do I know that, oh no, it's not, it's just the people and events and circumstances in my immediate reality? How do I know I'm this big thing? How do I know I'm this big beingness? How do I know I'm the solar system, the galaxy, the universe? How do I know the universe is literally working for me? Right? And that's often what we do. We go to this idea that no, it's just my immediate reality, not everyone and everything quite literally in reality. Because we don't expand our story into encompassing all of reality. We say that, oh no, I'm the universe, blah blah blah. I am the sun, the moon, the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. It all sounds very poetic, right? It does. It sounds very poetic. It sounds very wonderful, but it doesn't land unless you land it. Right? It does not land unless you land it. It will not land unless you land it. Okay? You really need to you really need to expand it. You need to let it really sift through you that no, I am reality. Every single person in my awareness of being must be moving according to the story that I am telling. And I've said this before in another video, but I'm going to bring it back up again, which is this idea of whatever it is you want. And I'll use something small, like say you want that in your hand. All of reality is moving for you to experience this being in your hand. But this example can be quite limiting because you would consider all of reality just doing whatever it's doing anyway, and you're just gonna do that or not do that, because whether you experience this or not, that bird's gonna fly past your window, that person's gonna say this on Twitter, that person's gonna have that movie released, and that person's falling in love and that person's breaking up anyway, right? You think that that's gonna happen while you're doing this, right? It's because this doesn't necessarily have to interact with all of those things, but all of those things are manifest without the interaction of that, right? And then often we find that, well, okay, well, I have some control over my immediate reality, right? And that's not really the thing. It has to be all or none, right? You can't have some control over little itty bitty bits of your reality and none of the rest of it. It has to be everything, and everybody has to have that same control over the individual experiences of reality. And those individual experiences of reality have to also not clash with you. So everyone has their own reality. Everyone has their own universe. A lot of the time, whatever it is you're doing does not interact with other people's ongoing experiences, but you are the one bringing it into your own life. You are the one that brings in yourself to go watch a movie, but we leave it there, right? We leave it there. You don't actually go the next step. You're too scared to go. You don't want to go. You're too afraid to go. You don't. Maybe you're just unaware of the idea. In fact, right? You're unaware of this idea that no, I put those actors in that movie as awareness, not my physical self. My physical self can literally do nothing. No matter how many times I think I did something as the physical version of myself, I did nothing. Can do nothing and will continually do nothing, right? By my own hand. That in that case, in that meaning. But what if truly you are awareness, and whatever so happens in your awareness is quite literally you at the heart of it, that your higher self is doing, your higher beingness is doing, the greater part of what the universe actually is doing, the source, universe, God, whatever, right? What if it is actually you doing it for your specific benefit? But then you think, well, why is everyone else doing the same thing that I am doing? That I am that consciousness. No, how else would they see reality if not the way you see reality, if you are reality? How else would another person sitting next to you in a movie theater watch a movie with different actors, if not the same ones that you are watching, because from your viewpoint you are reality? And then you say, but everyone is seeing that, so why am I not in their viewpoint? You are in that viewpoint, but you continue going off into and as your own viewpoint always, forever. It doesn't change their viewpoint in that specific moment that you are in, that you are one within that moment. You're always in that moment, and you're always not. You're always in every other moment as well, right? And you can't tell how different another reality is from another person's viewpoint, right? And that's kind of the heart of what I wanted to explain here. It's like, how do you experience yourself truly being more than just the observer of your reality? You're always the observer of your reality, but what I mean is that, are you willing to take that step and willing to be thinking and saying and believing and affirming and assuming and imagining that the whole world moves according to me? And then we have these enormous, what we consider enormous events that happen in the three-dimensional world, and we say, how can that be happening within me? Or rather, how can I have the control over this experiencing of reality? What is it that you actually want to be? You want to You want to experience yourself as source, as the creator, as I am, right? And I am is everything already, but we really just diminish what that means. You know, you're sitting at home and then you're this person that you met however many years ago, not speaking, or speaking on Instagram, not on Instagram, and then you just kind of like rotating idea. And it is manifestation, it is remembering parts of who you are, it truly is that. But there's no scale to it. You know, I really love that Abraham Hicks quote, which is, you can manifest a button in a castle and it means the same thing. You know, you manifest a castle and it's like in the news now, hey, this person got given, inherited, whatever, a castle, right? However that goes, however it works, because it's all just source anyway. And now suddenly the whole world is talking about you owning this castle, and you have a direct experience. You know, I am the entire world pointing back at myself. That's the experience. That's who you are. That's who you truly are. And even when you're not, even if it is just the house that you drove by, the whole world is now consciously aware that you live in that house. So it's already always aware of you, no matter how small, right? It's aware of you being there. When I put up a video on YouTube, the whole world is now consciously or unconsciously aware that I shifted into a reality where I put a video up on YouTube and now it is consciously there. Whether anyone sees it physically or not, it makes no difference. It's there. I have an experience of people seeing it, and I'll have an experience of people not seeing it. That's cool. That doesn't matter. But in my awareness, I am now aware of a version of reality, an experience of reality, a frame of reality where this now exists, and the whole world is aware of it, not seeing it or not seeing it, aware of it, because I am awareness, I am the world, and that awareness permeates everything, everywhere, all at once. You know, that's why when you change or choose your I am story, which is what you are. What are you? Are you this person? Are you this flesh or this flesh and blood? Or are you this consciousness that is experiencing yourself as flesh and blood? And the magnitude of what this flesh and blood, this person's identity, this ever-changing, ever-evolving, ever-becoming physical version of you, what is the limit to that? Or is it unlimited? Is it that every single person will and could and does know your name? And why? Why is that? Because I am awareness, because they all know I am. Because when people don't know or know my name, it's coming from me. Right? You're a character who's just playing along with the world. You really want to expand into the whole world or not. Sometimes you want a quiet life, and that's perfectly fine too. I'm just saying, when you really expand and see yourself as reality, nothing seems to be out of reach to you. You may actually start to feel a little uncomfortable in your current life. That's because you're becoming more and expanding, and that expansion can feel a little uncomfortable. That's actually what heartbreak is. Heartbreak is you expanding into more of your own being. That can be very daunting and very painful. Painful sometimes. Drop my little thing. That's what I was talking about. Like drop your little thing, you know. And I've been doing that the whole day. I've been dropping stuff. I don't know why. Right? It doesn't really matter. I got a cool idea out of it. You know, I am the source of everything. I am the character. I am the writer. I am the producer. I am the love. I'm the fire. I am the water that streams, and I am the stream. I am the idea. I am the current. I am everything. I am who I say I am. You know, that is the power of who you are, and when you declare that right now, when you declare I am the power that makes the entire world exist, that is the fundamental truth that you are expressing right now. I am the power that makes the whole world exist right now. It could not exist from my viewpoint that I am specifically having right now. The world literally could not exist in my awareness from my specific viewpoint that I am specifically having right now. It just couldn't. And because I am so important, equally important as to every single manifested form of reality in existence. To remove me would be to remove all of God. Because God cannot be separate from any one part of what makes it infinity. You are that infinity. And how do you want to experience your physical life here? There's no limitation. There can't be a limitation. There cannot be a limitation to you. If there's any kind of limit into what it is you can experience, you cannot experience anything. That means your life is a given going forward as something that you need to strive for and work for, hopefully, and maybe the hole that you dig sprouts an oil. Or maybe you just basically maybe you strike gold, right? Maybe you won't. Or maybe it is actually something else, that you are awareness, and that awareness is within you, and then whatsoever you are aware of, in the manner that you are aware of it, that I am reality, that this just exists within me. From where I sit everywhere. From where I sit, my throne is within me in my imagination. That's who you are. I am the source and the scene. I am the writer and I am the watcher. I am the lover and I am the beloved. I am the fire and I am the one who burns. I choose now to experience the infinite expansion of love, no matter how small it might seem in the physical moment. Every moment I choose to expand further as much as I can in every single moment to see more of who I truly am. I live in the reality I desire. I am that desired identity regardless of anything. And I claim that story that excites my soul. I am with the people that I want to be around. I'm doing the thing I want to be doing. I'm living where I want to be living. I'm seeing my name where I want to see my name. I am that because I say I am. I am your host, Reese. This is Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the questions that you send me, the emails that you send me as well. Thank you for the liking, the subscribing, the following, the comments. There's a Facebook group available, Rewrite Your Reality, if you want to join that and post things, share insights, help other people who post about questions that they typically have. There's a TikTok page, which is growing every day. I quite enjoy that. It's a different format, a different setting, a different way of presenting and different things and different ideas. And I post pictures with text ideas as well. It's in the info box, right? I'll put it in the information box as well of the video. Thank you all for being here. Much love. I wasn't quite sure what this was going to be about, but I know it was going to be about I am, and I just let it run. So, much love, and I will see you all in the next one.